Hello, guys. Welcome back to another episode of the Scaling Brokerage Podcast. Today, Jim has been kind enough to bless us with some of his time. He's out of Chicago there. So I'll let him tell us a little bit about himself and his experience in real estate here.
Sounds good. Hey, Jake. So, I'm the broker owner of Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate. We were actually the first franchise owners in the state of Illinois. So we were recruited from Better Homes and Gardens, which was part of its Anywhere brand was Realogy. So we're in the same ball pit as Century 21, Coldwell Banker, ERA, Cardis Relocation. So, we've got a big machine behind us, but quite honestly, just like with an agent, with the brokerage, you're only as good as the tools you use. And the brand is fantastic. It's an amazing name. It's recognizable, but I started out as a roofing contractor in life and did that for about 25 years on the roofs when it's 90 degrees out and 20 below. And my wife Susan was the first one to get her real estate license, and she did very, very well. She had her first year. So you got to remember, when we got started, you went into your office, and here's her first day as they sat her down in an office with a phone, phone with a cord. No computers. And what they did is they put the phone book in front of you, and they said, "Here, we're in Mundelein, so go to Mundelein in the phone book and start with the A's and call Mr. Anderson. Hey, Mr. Anderson, you thinking about selling your house in the near future?" She sold 35 homes in her first year that way. Got very successful. I had the opportunity within a year and a half that I either stay on the roofs or I got my license. So, there was a year and a half where literally I had my crew up there and the phone rings. I had my bag phone up on the chimney, and seriously, the phone rings. I was like, "Oh, shut off the compressor. Everybody knows to be quiet." "Hey, this is Jim with Century 21. How can I help you?" "Oh, sure. Absolutely. We can set that up for you. We'll get out there." Hang up the phone. "Okay, everybody back to work." So, they're showing homes and nights and weekends and stuff. So we'll learn one thing in life. Real estate is not hard work. You can work 80 hours a week in real estate, and it's not hard work. Hard work is going up on a roof when it's 10 degrees out, because it's going to be sunny, and you have to shovel the snow off for free so that it will melt off so you can work tomorrow and make money tomorrow.
Yeah. That sounds like a little bit harder work than picking up the phone, right?
A little bit harder work than picking up the phone and unlocking a door. So, so we did that. We did that together. We did it as a team. We moved over to Remax for a little bit. We were Remax. We were, I don't know if it was Chairman's Club or whatever. We got to the highest level pretty quick, but we spent a lot of time. I'm an obsessive person, so when I want to do something, I dig in all the way. So I researched. We just started getting internet properties and people going to the internet for real estate. The computer were just getting going. We just started getting listings online. So I was number one in the state by double the nearest agent that had, for unique visitors to my website. I am not a tech person, but I found out what I needed to do to make things happen. So I don't like not being the best at what I'm doing. You can see behind me some fishing stuff and a Captain Jim. I got into boating and fishing a couple of years ago. I got my captain's license, and that wasn't good enough. I got my master captain's license. So it's just research and knowing what you're doing. Anybody, watching these podcasts and paying attention, we're all trying to learn. Yeah. And if you get one gold nugget from what's going on, it's a good thing. But, things go. Wasn't getting along with my broker. I gave him massive support. Things happen. It's okay. So I put a couple feelers out, and then I actually got approached by Better Homes and Gardens, and they said, "Hey, we like everything you do. I'm also a pre-licensed instructor for the state of Illinois, and I teach an ethics course." And they said, "We like everything you stand for. Would you be willing to be the first franchisee?" So I thought that was a pretty good honor.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, so we quit. I put an offer in on a building, bought a building, and moved over with two agents. Had me and my wife and two agents and a 3,000 square foot building, and we went, "Shit, what did I just do?"
It can happen fast, right?
Right. we built up in our first year and a half to about 85, 90 agents. We were the new kid on the block. Learned some hard lessons. It's like, you know what, people leave their brokerages because they think something's greener on the grass is greener on the other side of the fence. You're an agent is only going to make so much money no matter where they're at. It depends on them. So it's going to cost them the same amount to earn a dollar no matter where they go or how they're doing it. It just depends on how much of their life are they going to give up to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So after some ups, some downs, we made the decision because it's getting tough in the brokerage world. I know we're talking to broker owners here today.
Yeah,
and it's tough. It's getting to where brokers and owners need to have ancillary services just to survive because they're not making anything. We're getting brokerages out there that are paying your agents to leave. Here's a check. I've seen people getting $50,000-$100,000 to leave, and the banking on breaking even on the agent or the team in the first year, and then maybe making some money. I didn't decide to go that way. When we first started, a brokerage was the mothership, and you would do floor time. You would work at the front desk, and somebody would come in and they walk in and go, "Oh, hi, can I help you? I want to buy or sell a house." Okay, great, and you'd help them. That's where your business came from.
Yeah.
Then became the independent models, encouraging solo agents to go out and work. Well, now you're paying a large desk fee, $1,000, $1,200, $1,500, $1,800 a month, and you're doing all your own marketing.
Yeah.
That worked for a while. And we did very well at that. But the problem still becomes how much you're going to end up with at the end of the year. So my calculations are a solo agent working for a brokerage. I don't care what their splits are, their desk fees. It all costs the same, no matter how you dice it up. End of the year, somebody who brings in 150,000 GCI, and everybody listening can challenge me on that and take a look. Your agent is going to end up with $50,000 or $60,000 in their pocket at the end of the year.
Yeah.
By the time they run a pie event and they host a garage sale and they do some pay-per-click, they can't compete with me. I'm paying $40. I'm paying $40 a click for pay-per-click leads, and that's not too bad actually.
No, not at all.
So we morphed into a team. We are a teamerage. So we don't have every single person in the office is on the team. We need to have some independent brokers. Otherwise we have to call them all employees. So we do have some where we just host their license and they kind of do their own thing. But 98% of everybody in our office is on the team. What that gives me is that gives us some control. You sign your independent contractors agreement, your ICA, with the brokerage and with the sponsoring broker. You want to be on the team, you sign your team agreement that you're going to do open houses, you're going to follow up with leads, these are things you're going to do. Our agents have the ability, so what they bring in, if they bring in $150,000, they're going to end up with probably $140,000. It just makes sense because we're able to pool it all up. We've got the support and collaboration. Our office is open. I was one of the first offices around that did a hoteling system. We don't have private offices. When I was at Remax, everybody had private offices, and they literally had paper taped down the windows so you couldn't see in their office. My office is unlocked. My laptop's here. All my papers right here. Our managers, it's all good. There's no secrets in real estate. The secret is to answer your phone and work hard.
Yeah. So that's definitely, I'd say a big piece of the pie, right?
Right. So your sphere of influence. So we reward our team agents. They get a much higher compensation if they bring a sphere of influence, or if they want to do some of their own marketing, because I didn't have to pay for that. It just came in, but they still benefit from transaction management. They benefit from marketing. Everything is done everything is done carte blanche. My agents, I ask them, I need them to work 1 hour a day, 5 days a week, and then the rest is just reactive time.
Yeah. That's
So,
awesome.
right.
That's awesome. And that's to make it a much I would say make it a little bit easier for them, not constantly having to, cold call and get beat up on the phones, having a little bit more of an inbound style. Must be pretty nice for the agents to be able to kind of take a step back on the outbound pushing.
No, absolutely, because all they have to do is answer their phone. We've got the lead flow coming in. You can't, when you look at everybody goes to Zillow. You go to Zillow and you see that the Star Home team has 482 sales in the last 18 months. Well, how does a solo agent go out there and they've got 5? Who's going to call them? The power of the team. So my thoughts are that a teamerage is the same thing that a brokerage used to be, where we're doing all the heavy lifting for you. It's still your client. One thing we did is, this is not the Jim Starwalt team. I do not want to be important. I've been there. I don't care about awards. I want my agents to get the awards. I want to go fishing.
Love it. I love it.
So we have the Star Home team, and we feature our agents. We let our agents. I could go on for forever. The benefits. Our team agents, they're educated. They're knowledgeable. They have support. A lot of teams don't allow their agents to list homes. I think that's bullshit, man. You've already gone out, Jake goes out and he's got a buyer. He's converted it to an appointment, gets out the appointment. They like him. They want to write an offer, but they also have a house to sell. Well, that's okay. I'm Jake, and I'm not good enough to actually sell your house. Let me take you over to the team lead to do the listing.
Yeah.
Jake's,
it doesn't come off very authentic for the person.
No. And that works. It works for some, but I like my agents to also have the ability to list the homes. I mean, let's face it. You take the paperwork, you hand it to Victoria. She orders the photography, orders the designer, gets everything puts it in, puts in the pictures, and says, "Hey, your listing's live. Call your seller. Hey, seller, did you check out everything we've done? Fantastic. Okay, we got an offer. Negotiate it. The transaction manager handles the closing. You show up, and get a check."
Yeah.
It couldn't be easier. None of this entering a listing at 2 a.m. I just got to knock this out. I promised him I'd get it in.
Yeah. And some of the things that can hamper or hold the agent back from making another sale, or creating another transaction, creating another trying to think of the word. I don't know why it escaped me, but creating another bridge for more family, friends, people like that to come across and kind of be able to transact or work with you as well and be able to help them. So that's awesome. It's awesome.
Well, you can't keep up. If you've got 3 buyers you're working with, and then you have a listing, how are you going to keep up with everybody and keep them informed what's happening with their contract? Did you forget that they have to get their insurance policy in place? Did you forget that they need to the appraisal hasn't been ordered in the contract? The appraisal has to be ordered within 10 days. Well, we have reminders. The staff reaches out to all parties like, "Hey, it's 8 days now. We don't see this appraisals ordered yet. What's going on?"
Yeah.
So you just can't give the same service. And when we divide it up amongst so many agents, it doesn't cost as much for an agent. So
Absolutely.
when I just hand you, "Jake, here's Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and they want to buy a house, go open a door and help them out." We have a lot of leads coming in that are warm, a lot that are cold. There's a lot of nurture. So some of them are ready right now. Some of them are ready in 3 months and ready in 6 months. We also have an inside sales agent. We have an ISA that sits there. That's relatively new to us this year. But I'm 100% confident that she's going to pay for herself 10 times over. Even if it's a break even, it's going to put more money into our agents' pockets, because all of the ones that slipped through the cracks. I took one call. I got busy. I was going to call him again tomorrow. I didn't. Well, Casey's going to give him a call and say, "Hey, you know what? Did Jake get back to you? I see that you sent an email that you wanted to go see some homes on Saturday." "No, I haven't heard from Jake yet." "No problem. What time would you like to go on Saturday? We'll make sure we get you taken care of."
Yeah.
it's concierge service. You just can't keep up like that.
Absolutely, absolutely, and it really speaks volumes too to the brokerage, to making the buyer feel more comfortable, making them feel like they're being taken care of, being it's not just me, it's we have Tom, we have Sal, we have someone else looking after you as well, overseeing things, making sure that it's running smoothly. Goes a long way. It really does.
No, absolutely. And I'd hit on ancillary services before, and I could make a phone call right now. It's 2:19 my time here. By 5 o'clock, I could literally have my own title services set up.
Yeah.
I've got the one of the owners of Chicago Title is a good boating buddy of mine.
Oh, really?
He was telling me, how much money you're leaving on the table. I said, I'm really not. I'm really not, because our attorneys need to make their money. So we've got our partner attorneys, which I don't get any of their fee. I want them to do their job. They haven't dropped the ball on over 400 transactions last year. Not one thing slipped through the cracks. They are also transaction management for us. They literally help us negotiate our home inspection repairs, requests, everything going on. And they just tell us when to go get a check. I haven't been there closing in 3 years, and I'm not even trying, and I'm selling 36 to 40 homes a year. I want to get out of production, but it's where it's at. So
Yeah.
with the ancillary services, that's why I want our partners to make their money, to take my agents and say, okay, here's a deal. You now convince your buyers or sellers that they need to insist to use our title company, but you can't make it a tie-in agreement because I want to make an extra $800 on the deal. I don't need to, because we are a very profitable business. We're a very profitable brokerage. Because it's almost everybody listening, I'm sure, if you have leads that you pass on to your agents, it's a 50-50 split.
Yeah.
So my agents can opt in or they can opt out of team leads. So who's going to opt out?
Yeah. Yeah. Why wouldn't you have the additional option, the additional ways to make revenue, the additional leads there? It's
Exactly.
really no brainer.
I expect them to close at least 12 team leads a year per agent minimum. And I tell them they should be, and I encourage them they should try to sell another 12 on their own from their sphere of influence. When they take a team buyer out or a team seller and they help them, that becomes part of their sphere. So don't forget, hey, Jake, don't forget, this went great. So if you know anybody else who wants to buy or sell, please refer me out. So, they make the extra money on that one. So,
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, yeah. And to dive a little bit and to kind of change gears a little bit. I know you give us a good overview of kind of, from start to finish there a few minutes ago. And then we kind of went off on, the couple of different tangents there. Did you have anything that, from maybe when you first opened the brokerage to where you're at now? I know there's, 08 and 09, and then obviously COVID more recently. But did you have any big challenges that you feel like you faced when starting, recently, anything like that?
COVID was a challenge, it was a challenge for all of us, but, my wife and I own the company. We actually paid all of our staff for 3 months to stay home. We kept paying them. We came in and we couldn't go anywhere else anyhow. So we were in here 12, 14-hour days, 7 days a week, just doing everybody's work so we could get them back in.
Yeah.
So yeah, we kept it going. So, but I think things are going really well. I really can't complain. There's been ups and downs, and there was, like I said, we went from 85 to 90 agents, and then you get that 1.5 to 2 year mark as a brand new brokerage, and then you get 3 people leave and 4 other people leave, and we had like one summer where I think, we had like 20 people leave just because we recruited them as brand new.
Oh, okay.
They had never been anywhere else.
Yeah.
So the lesson being that it's really tough to keep a brand new agent more than 2.5 years.
Yeah.
So just as long as you're aware of that, there's a churn factor that they're going to come in. You have to streamline your teaching, streamline your education, get them up and going. And there's a good chance they're going to go. Some are going to come back. I am going to say that the agents that we train are very, very highly sought after. They're some of the best in the area, some very successful. We've spawned off into a couple of teams that are my competition.
Bittersweet, right?
Right. But there's also, a bunch of them that just went to elsewhere. They go elsewhere and they go to some of the I don't want to offend anybody, but some of the, hey, if you recruit people, they get in your downstream, whatever.
Oh yeah, I like the EXP LBTs, all the. I mean,
Yeah.
everyone's familiar with.
XP Keller, we're going to call it downstream, whatever you guys want to call it. I don't know. You get portion of who you recruit. You help encourage your recruit. Okay, everybody would come and they'd laugh. I'm like, oh, so and so is just calling everybody because they moved, and it's like, we're not going there. And year later they'd flame out and they're working at Home Depot. So
yeah,
and it is what it is. But now we've got very good retention. Being a team, having everybody's lead, having their lead flow. If you leave, you can't take your leads with you. So it's very good for retention. And why would you? You're not going to make as much elsewhere as you're going to make here. And it's not going to be as easy.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it sounds like, I mean, 5 hours. Like, I don't know that I've ever heard any brokerage owner come on the podcast, tell agents that, 5 hours a week is all I'm asking for you. Most brokerage owners, 40, 50, 60, as many hours as they can get. But that's awesome. And I understand that, still being availability is, a big part of it. But
so if you want to work in the office, great. If you don't, work from home. But an hour a day, 5 days a week is where you're going to do your follow-up. All your new leads, that a new lead comes in, I call them opportunities. You have to call, text, and email them once a day, just once a day for 3 days. You're not going to call them 3 times a day. That's just stupid. For 3 days, then you're going to give them a day off, and then you're going to call them once a day, every other day for 3 more. And then you're going to put them into our AI system, which is just going to nurture them until they raise their hand or do something. It's going to remind you in 30 days to reach out again, like, hey, we're still here,
Yeah.
And then they have to take their active clients. They have to take the people that are under contract. It's just all your phone calls and your follow-up. You can do it in 1 hour a day if you concentrate on just doing that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, and I mean, concentration is definitely a big part of it. You see the agents in the office, easily distracted, talking to one another. Maybe talking, maybe it's about real estate as well. But it can be easy, if we really set aside that hour though, and lock into what we have to do, we can accomplish quite a bit. And
we've got the hourglass timers. It's 1 hour. We've got them in here. Turn it over. Set up. We've got little orange mini traffic cones. Set it up by the cubicle you're working in. That means you don't call me. That's the cone of silence. Nobody talks to me. Not allowed to talk to us. You do your follow-ups until that hourglass is empty.
I love it. Hey, that's a good way to keep focus there. Well, tell me a little bit, Jim. Do you guys do anything on the recruiting side? I know you talked a little bit about marketing, getting the leads to the agents. Do you do anything on the recruiting side? Anything to attract more agents to the team reach there?
Sure. We do a lot of social media and a lot of retargeting through social media, targeting agents. So we set up our perfect avatar as an agent who's been in the business 1 to 3 years and has sold 3 to 10 homes. I don't want the person who's selling 25 homes a year. I will get you there here. I want you to have been somewhere else and find out how tough it is. You've been there for a year and a half and you sold 2 homes and you've done everybody else's open house and taken their garbage, taking their garbage leads. Well, here's a rental, and then I want a referral fee from the rental you've done. So we do a lot of highly targeted social media ads out reaching out for them.
Nice. Awesome. You guys like on Facebook, Instagram, all the big ones there?
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. We are one of our big pulls is that we are a Zillow Flex team. Nice. Actually, last I checked, we are the #1 Zillow Flex team in all of Chicagoland for closings and such. And so, we close anywhere between 15 and 30 a month just on Zillow Flex. That comes with a cost, but like I tell everybody, you can opt in or opt out. It pays your bills. That pays your bills, and then everything else is going to make you some profits. So let's stay busy, and then you're going to work those leads for referrals. So
I love it. Yeah, and that's the one thing. If we're busy in real estate, putting our best foot forward. A lot of times, we're going to be making money on the back end of it.
Absolutely, we reward activity. So if you've kept up on all of your follow-ups, if you've done the open houses, if you've done all of your routines, you get awards. I don't give awards for who's ever sold the most houses. I give awards who's ever had the most phone calls over 2 minutes, who's ever sent the most texts the last week. We do that at our office meetings. We have team meetings every single Wednesday between 11 and 12, and I have 80% of my agents show up every single Wednesday for that hour. They know it's going to start at 11 o'clock. They know I will be done before noon, and I'm not going to have the local window guy come in because he bought bagels for everybody.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
hey,
busy.
why don't you send all your work to me because I do windows? No, we don't do that. It's all good content. So
I got you. And I love that what you mentioned there about, the 2-minute conversations, who's sending the most texts. Those are good key indicators of, who's really putting in the most effort. Because we can't beat them up on the phones 24/7, can't call everyone, 6 times a day. So, those going those extra lengths, sending those texts, trying our best to keep them on the phone, keep them engaged in the conversation. Those are definitely key indicators, that those agents are working hard, they're trying. So I love that.
In real estate, effort equals success. I don't care what you do. If you do it consistently, you're going to be successful. So along with that hour, I'm going to give you a free little tidbit here. So one of my little secret methods is I call it my Facebook 2x4. You need to get your agents to send out 2 private messages a day, 5 days a week. It sounds easy for the first week, but then it gets kind of tough. Like, who am I going to send a private message to?
Yeah.
I'm probably going to look up Jake, and I'm going to send one to Jake. Hey, it was great talking to you today. How long you been doing this? I'm going to ask you a question. You're going to answer back to me. We're going to have a small back and forth. I'm going to send 2 private messages. I'm going to post on 4 people's social media platform, and I'm going to ask you a question. Hey, Jake, I saw you went on vacation this year. Where did you guys go? Oh, you went to Sanibel Island. How was that? Where did you stay? When we go back and forth like that, social media algorithms are not a mystery.
Yeah,
Me and you have talked. And so now if I do happen to post something like, oh, I had the greatest time showing some new buyers a house, you're going to go, oh, that's that Jim guy. I'm looking for a house.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely. No, there's definitely ways to work the system. But I love that.
I know you get your agenda, but I got to show you this too. I keep this on here for training. It's a little Flintstones mug from McDonald's, right?
Okay.
I use that as my visual when I train new agents, and especially with your social media. When you're looking for social media, what I'm looking for is people that had some type of life event. Someone I sold a house to had posted, I just broke my Flintstone mug. I've had it since I was a kid, and I used to keep my pens on, and it just broke. I happened to be waiting at a train, so I went on to eBay. I found one. I ordered it. I did a snapshot of the order. I sent it to her house, and I posted that snapshot. Don't worry about it. You got a new one showing up in 3 days. So many people that know, love, and trust this person said, oh my goodness, who was it that did that? That's my realtor, Jim. If you ever need something, you got to give them a call. I see people that have a cat is having a surgery. We'll send them flowers. So get your agents to do that. This is gold. This is how they're going to make money that didn't cost you any to get it to them.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's something I think that a lot of, successful brokerage owners have in common, and something that I've, heard only a couple of times before, is that, not just, going leading up to the sale, is that kind of that post follow up after, making sure that, they talk about their friends, talk about their family, send them flowers. Maybe they're getting married, send them something. It goes a long way, and even you never know who got you that gift, or who sent the mug to you. You never know what kind of opportunity that's going to lead you to. So no, that's awesome that you guys do that and go in the extra mile too. It means a lot for not just the people that you're doing it for, but the agents appreciate that as well. Knowing that they're at a reputable place that they can be proud of.
It's not even an extra mile. It's just part of your hour. The Tom Ferry Power Hour, or I can't remember who the guy was back in the Stone Ages, but anyhow, it's part of your hour. So you're going to make your calls, and then you're going to go on your social media. You're going to look for someone to help, and you're going to have some conversations. And it just is part of your work now is your social media, and it's so valuable.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, kind of switch gears again a little bit. Diving into the future. Where are you guys headed? What I know 2030 sounds a bit like, really futuristic almost at this point. But what is 2030? What would you like to, look back when we get there and see yourself have accomplished over the next 5 years here?
No, absolutely. We're looking to be, when we get to be a 600 unit team, is when we have some pivot points where we'll be extremely profitable. We'll be able to add even some extra incentives for our agents. We'll have extra support for them. My goal is to be a 100 agent, 1,000 unit a year team, and we will be there probably within 2 or 3 years easily. When we've got 1,000 units, we're able to pay our managers. I've got 2 managing brokers that work for. We got 35 agents. We got myself and 2 managing brokers, so we have unbelievable support for our agents. They get incentivized by our growth and our net profits. They get a part of that, so they're definitely incentivized to help us get there, and they will make a very good living when we do.
I love it. I love it. That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, and also tell what would be your advice for anyone new getting started in the industry? Anyone, brokerage owner just getting started in today's market, and what advice would you have for them?
My advice is just go right into the teamerage part. If you're thinking about being in brokerage, then you obviously know how to get opportunities, how to market, and how to bring in the opportunities. Teamerage is the way to go. It's what you're doing. These all the other brokerages are struggling. I know that many of them are 30, 40, 50%, 60% down in volume. We've been up 20% each and every year in volume and in net profits. So it sounds expensive, but don't buy agents.
Oh yeah.
Let them earn their keep. Let them convert leads that you've taken care of. But yeah, with our pay-per-click, with all of our marketing, with everything that we do and the calls that we have coming in, our agents get between 15 and 20 new opportunities every month. So with that, I mean, if they're not performing, you have to have standards, you have to have accountability. It's like, wait a second, I paid $40 per click. And if you're not going to follow up, you're paused because you must be too busy. So you get no new leads for a couple of weeks here. So go ahead and dig in and follow the rest of these. So accountability, absolutely. And just watch your net profits, man. Not what you have coming in, but what are you left with?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No. Yes. If it takes $1 to make $1, it's not, not all that valuable, right?
I had to pay a bookkeeper. I'm the farthest one in the world from being analytical, but I have our bookkeeper, and she gives me a report, and I review it. 10 minutes every Tuesday. She takes me 10 minutes. I can see, okay, advertising stayed about the same. We paid taxes this month. Here's how much commissions came in. Here's how much went out. Here's what the net profits is. Here's the standing of the company. And then I go back to my part, which is, recruiting agents and training agents. So
I love it. I love it. That's awesome. Well, tell the people a little bit, where can they find you? I know you mentioned, you guys are big on social media. Where can they find you at? Like Facebook, and LinkedIn, Indeed, anything like that?
Yes. You can find me out on the lake. I always have a pack of business cards on me when I'm out fishing. But yes, starhometeam.com.
Love it. I love it.
Check out what we are. Anybody wants to dive in a little bit deeper, send me an email, give me some patience, and I'll try to get back with you. But I firmly believe that the teamerage is the way to go. I don't have to pay. I am the owner. I am the broker owner. I don't have to pay my broker 15% of everything that the team brings in, because time you do that and then you split it down, it whittles it way down. So
yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I know you mentioned too, that with the, having the team, or having the brokerage owner, the team, having all those different, different people that we have to pay. It can be a lot. It can really kind of spread it pretty thin by the time it makes it all the way down to you, especially as the agent. So no, I love that. Do you have anything else? I know we touched on a couple things before the podcast. Do you have anything else that I missed that you wanted to go over here?
No, just be the best that you can be. I did this, and so I did get my teaching license. So I am a teacher for continuing education and for ethics. However, I'm very cautious. I run a couple of classes a year associated with another school, but be cautious and just be aware that new agents have a longevity of 1.5 to a max of 3.5 years, and they're going to go somewhere else. As long as you're aware of that, and you know you're going to have a churn, the ones that stick it out and the ones that make it with you, they're going to be with you a long time.
Yeah, absolutely. And absolutely. No, couldn't agree with you more. And like you said, too, not all of them are going to stay with you, but there will be some that will. So treating every agent, like they have the chance to, they might. So
I guess one last thing. The first thing I'm looking at my notes, and the first thing that I tell every agent that joins us, and I reassure them all the time, the very first thing for any of your people has to be their family. Oh, yeah. Their family has to come first, and then them and their health and their happiness has to come second, and then the company and team, the clients, and then the team. We're fourth, the team and the brokerage. First, if they don't have a happy family life, they're not going to be able to sell houses, and they're not going to last in this business. People flame out in this business. If you see somebody getting way too, it's addicting. It's like, oh, one more sale, one more. I'm just going to take this one more person out. We get addicted to helping people and addicted to the sale, and you have to get some of them to slow down and say, let's talk a little bit. It's okay. It's okay. Let's teach you how to streamline this. And maybe you don't work Sundays. I haven't worked a Sunday in 5 years. And I teach people how to not work Sunday. I have to work this Sunday. Maybe I work a Sunday or a Saturday once in a while, but I try not to. My calendar says appointments are 1:30, 3:30, and 5:30, Monday through Friday. And I fit 95% of my appointments in that. So
I love it. I love it. Hey, and I know I've had a lot of brokerage owners on the podcast here that maybe be listening now. That might be a little jealous of you on Sundays, especially. Well, that's awesome. So we'll make sure to link everything down below, guys. So if you have any interest, you're in the Chicago area, looking to get into the Chicago area, want to get in contact with Jim, or just have any questions about what we spoke about on the podcast here today, we'll link everything down below: social media, website. We'll have everything down there so you guys can get in touch.
Send your referrals our way.
Yeah, anything you want, right? All right. Well, hey, Jim, I really appreciate you coming out today. Thank you so much for joining me on the Scaling Brokerage podcast here today.
Thanks, Jake.